And then once you've kind of figured out what you like and what you want there, you will find over time that you are so much more calm and happy and, ready to take on, the world essentially. And you'll also feel, I know this might sound strange, but you'll also feel a lot more rested, because a lot of the time we're so overscheduled that our brains are just so exhausted. And when you are actually, giving yourself the opportunity to rest, relax, rejuvenate, you're supporting your own well-being with all of these things that will bring you happiness, and you're able to learn to say no, which is a whole other class. You will find that you're so much, more calm, you're less stressed, the blood pressure comes down, you're able to sleep better. And so you're also a little more well rested. And that's a wonderful thing too, to have that wellness, coming back into your life. So yeah, just keep repeating that whole process until you get it right, or you feel like you get it right. But don't ever think that it's written in stone. I think that's another issue. We hold on so tightly, to our routines that we think we can't change them because it's, once you find something that's working, you don't want to disrupt it, right? It's working, don't change it. But if something happens and you meet a friend and they introduce you to something new, if you want to give that a try, just take a look at your schedule and think, okay, well, I could do this a couple of times, and try it. And if I like it, I'll incorporate it permanently. If I don't, I had fun trying something new, and I'll, go back to my previous schedule that I really enjoyed. And I think, people will ask, okay, how do I know that I've succeeded in doing the right thing and making the right choices? So in addition to the other things that I just mentioned, your life will seem almost effortless, right? Instead of constantly being on the run, because you're behind your schedule and you're trying to get to all the things on time, and you're just, you're stressed and, I got to get to here and I have to, okay, I have 10 minutes and then I have to get to there. And then I have, 30 minutes, I have to be here. And, you're just really struggling to just try and keep up. Life will seem so much more effortless, because you're flowing, right? You're going between this and that, and there are things that you're enjoying, you're looking forward to it. And I find that people in that position generally leave enough time to complete, the entire activity they want to do. Because if you're enjoying something, you don't necessarily want to have to stop, after 10 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on, what it is. You just want to linger, you want to enjoy. And so people will leave a lot more time, for those things, and they'll be satisfied by the time they're finished that activity, that they're ready to go on to the next. So of course, there'll be a reduced anxiety and stress and fear, right? And we talked about increased calm and joy, but also clarity. Because when your brain has a chance to relax, and to rest, all that clutter too in your brain just seems to go away, and you have a lot more clarity. So you can even experience better memory, right? Which a lot of people find, especially now, is gone. Your memory is just gone. Even, the short-term memory, if you don't write it down, I don't know if this happens to you, but as a mom, I call it the 10-minute mom window. If I don't write something down within 10 minutes, an appointment or something my kids said, or mommy, I need this for school. If I don't write it down almost immediately, I forget, and then it's gone for a while until something, comes up and makes me remember it. It's that mommy brain, syndrome, but it happens to a lot of people, especially when we're overscheduled, because there's just so much. So the clarity to mental, capacity comes back, because your brain is now relaxed and is ready to take on more stuff. But it's not only a benefit to you to do this, and of course that's the primary goal, is to have a benefit to ourselves. But those around you will also benefit from you taking on, this project to declutter your schedule, because you're going to be so much more positive and confident and happy, of course, that they're going to want some of that too. And they're going to notice it, and that will rub off on them. And they're going to know, well, what did you do? How did you do this? Because I want that too. So, you might find that you have a lot of people asking you, like, how are you so happy? How are you so calm? And like, what are you on? Like, what did you do? And when you tell them that it's actually very simple, and you're aligning with your values, you're decluttering your schedule, and you're adding things in, that are going to positively stimulate your life, people will be amazed that that's all it takes. But really, it is. Things in life don't have to be so hard. And I think we anticipate, with change, there has to be a huge struggle, but there really doesn't. It can be that easy. Sometimes making the choices about what's going to stay and what's going to go, that can be a challenge. That can be hard. But once you get over that hurdle and you actually, get it done, it can be very rewarding and easy. And then it's just, from time to time, switching things here and there, taking something out and replacing it with something else if it's not working, or maybe a class you were taking is done. So Tuesday nights at 6 are free now. Oh, what am I going to do with myself? And so you put something else in there. Once something finishes, something else is going to start. So it's a wonderful way too to look positively forward into the future and think, oh gosh, there's so many exciting things that I could do with my life. What do I want? Sometimes it's hard for us to think, what do I want? There's a funny part in one of the movies that the kids watch, where this set of parents, has so many children, and they're not used to having daycare. So they take their, it's a fictional cartoon movie. And so this couple has so many children, and they take them to a daycare center for the first time. And the father says, you actually are going to take our children for the day? And what are we supposed to do with ourselves? And the daycare person says, whatever you want. And so the two parents walk out of the office, kind of, their eyes are glazed over, and they keep saying to each other, whatever we want, whatever we want, whatever we want. And there are all these emotions that are, that they're saying this, and you're thinking to yourself, right, because they haven't had any free time, like in forever. So they don't know what they want because they haven't had the opportunity to even think about it for so long. And so I think this exercise, as funny as, that scene in the movie is, it shows us that we can get so wrapped up in just getting everything done that we have no mental capacity or space left to even think about what it is that we might want or like or enjoy, and how we might be able to incorporate those things into our daily lives. So, once you get to doing this, this process and this activity, sometimes people do have a little bit of a stumbling block, because it's hard for them to think about, oh gosh, I could do anything, and anything is too big a possibility. And so they sometimes need, a little bit of help to kind of come back and say, okay, well, it's not really anything, because I wouldn't like to do anything, but maybe let's, write some lists about what I like, what I enjoy, what I think I might like to try, and then that kind of helps to narrow the focus a little bit, and it doesn't seem like such an impossible job to decide, what do we want? So that's just a small taste of, how I like to help people design their lives for health and wellness. And hopefully, if people enjoy the presentation today, that, they can leave some feedback if they want to get in touch with me. I'm sure we can find ways to do that. And I'm always open to questions and discussions, and I just love to help people live happily and healthy.
Thank you so much, Marsha. What you have given us is something that I really value, and that's time. I think that's a little bit of a theme here. Make sure that time is used for satisfying your life and living authentically and making the changes you need to make. So thank you so much. And you've always been a wonderful supporter of the library. So we really do appreciate it.